for joining us for our 4th episode of We Burn, We Rise. Today I'm joined by Hyperion and Karma. We're also, I see Rob in the chat. Special guests today are Jason from Beyond FOMO and Mathew, the CEO of Starship. We're happy to have you all here today as we bring you updates with news from all across the Phoenix Initiative. Today we're going to be talking about Fire C and Swap. We're going to also give you guys an overview of what our guests are up to. I also promise a special recipe, so stay tuned for that. And then we're going to open up the chat to Q&A. Now, keep in mind the Q&A is recorded, so we appreciate the community's adherence to keeping the discussion profanity-free. I'm going to toss it over to you, Hyperion. What's been going on this week?
A lot of red out there, unfortunately, and I'm sure all of us are feeling it. But, we keep developing. We keep working. Fire C, still not ready. But we are constantly working in the background. I don't have anything I want to show you for Fire C just yet. We have the wallets working very well. A couple of the IPFS things that need to be kind of sorted out, and more metadata items before we are clear. And since RXB is not here, I'll kind of comment on that as well. Fire Swap, still not ready, but will be soon. We also want to make sure that we aren't releasing something that's only half of a DEX. We kind of want something that the community will be able to use right off the bat. So still some back end stuff. The front end really is pretty much done, but the back end still needs a couple more things that he needs to tinker with, but maybe this week. We'll see. But yeah, constantly developing in the background. So
awesome. One thing that I am aware of is that we're trying to, as far as this show goes, we're going to update some things so that we can use newsletters, things like that, to give you guys more updates more frequently, things like that. Now, Rob, do you have anything that you want to say, or are we keeping quiet on certain things?
He mentioned he might pop in a little bit. He's not going to pop in right.
Cool.
Oh, wait.
Well, actually, today I went to an office for the setup.
All right.
While
we're noodling there, okay. So here is the recipe. I know my snack suggestions were not so popular, so we're doing burgers now. What you're gonna do? This is a good one. You're gonna take your pound of ground beef, right? You're gonna do about a half cup of mild cheddar, a half cup of sharp cheddar. Okay. You're going to put that on a smoker. You're going to want to go with the hickory wood chips. You're going to smoke that at about 275 for 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how thick your burgers are. And I guarantee it is fantastic. I know it's a long wait for just grilling burgers, but yes, it is how it's done.
I love it.
Awesome.
Hey, welcome.
Now, I didn't want to interrupt the recipe.
Now, Jason, I see
hey, Spaz,
yeah.
Are you hearing everybody else? Because they're talking, but you're for some reason not. Yeah.
That's weird. I'm going to leave and then come back.
I see Matt just joined, but I don't think his mic is actually on. I think it's off.
Yeah, I muted it.
Yeah,
okay,
I hear both Matt and Jason. And then Rob was talking too. So, Rob, can you come back in a little bit? Jason, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. I'm Jason Berlin. I started Beyond FOMO. It's basically just a community-led group where we discuss altcoins, crypto, large cap, micro caps. I've been in the space for a few years. I know all the crazy stuff that has happened, been there, done that. And I'm just here to meet people, network, and that's it. Let's start learning about other projects. That's where I really think the real fun is at. We got the red markets, green markets. It's always good to see money, whether or not it's up or down, but it's these relationships that matter the most. So thanks for inviting me to be here.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for building with us too. Matt, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Matt Albright. I'm the CEO of Starship. If you go to deploystarship.com, you can check out what we have. Centralized exchange, play to earn game. We have something special coming soon. We'll be presenting that on stage in Vegas, July 8th, 9th, and 10th at the Metaverse Expo with TCG World.
Really? I didn't hear about that.
Matt's kind of being a little nonchalant here because I got to feed his ego a bit that they are a real play to earn game on Wax blockchain. And we always keep hearing all these other play to earn, play to donate type platforms or games that unfortunately, you always kind of see a roadmap. You don't actually see the finished product. And not to say Starship is finished by any means, but like they actually launched. They're live. It's running. People are actually playing this game and earning crypto right now. So it's real. It's all out there.
Interesting. Do you mind if I showcase what's the website
What's
again?
the website?
Yeah.
Game.deploystarship.com. And actually, I don't know if your community knows this, but I've been a community member with Crypto Phoenix for a while. You guys have quite a few developers working on your project. I don't know what people have told me that I'm allowed to say, but it is impressive. I think you have over 40 developers, right?
Well, so yes, there are definitely a lot of. So the group, the internal group, I guess you could call, is about 70 people. The developers that kind of cycle in and out, yeah, there's. I don't know if the number's 40, but I know that it's at least close to half the 70 that are involved internally. But it's all we're not paid, but we're working for this ecosystem to become something that's worth it. So we've all had, I think, a little bit of time in crypto like yourself. So
and you're, I think I spoke with you before. Are you the one who is leading the project?
No, the leader is Fluffy. So Fluffy, I think he's tied up right now, but Fluffy started CPHX. That's just Crypto Phoenix. He's the founder of Phoenix, and then Rob, if we can get him back, I think he's listening, but Rob is actually the lead developer in our Genius. RXB is almost like his equal, but in a different capacity. I'm more of a socials, business integration, and everything else.
Okay. Yeah, I know we're waiting on doing a bridge with you guys, so that should be exciting.
Yes, and RXB would be the one that probably talked to you about that if he did.
Yeah. When do you launch?
So the DEX, he's so close. He's so close. He has some back end stuff he has to work out. We've kind of done some of the wrapped Phoenix and a couple of other tokens, but nothing's finalized just yet. It's almost there.
Okay.
But
That's
a lot of
I'm
internal
actually trying to learn a little bit more about the project itself, and I just clicked on like the link tree, so I'm there. Has all the social media accounts, has all these different platforms, right?
Yeah.
So
even
for
our
anyone
YouTube.
that's new, that's just joining us because we've been putting it on Twitter, Discord. We're making these announcements. Could you give us a little bit of a rundown as to what the whole Phoenix blockchain is about? Is it a fork of another blockchain? Is it your own mainnet? But what exactly are we kind of looking at here?
So if you're looking at Phoenix in general, Phoenix is actually an EVM, which means Ethereum Virtual Machine. So we're a fork off of Ethereum. In our own sense, we're not charging the exorbitant mining fees that Ethereum does for transactions. We have a stable, very, very low transaction fee, and that's where our network kind of shines. Everything is about, I don't know, the last time I checked was 0.00021 for Phoenix for a transaction, which is negligible. And our goal is to always keep everything at a very low transaction costs. And in the same sense as Ethereum, we want to be an NFT, a place for artists, NFTs, we're going to try to tackle the voice sector eventually. I'm sure that a lot of people are looking at what Spotify is doing recently with the announcements of
music.
Yeah, that's going to be big. So Spotify, Instagram with its NFTs, like all that is happening in the market, but we're trying to tap in and be this central chain where any artist, musician, creator can come to and not be bogged down by transaction fees. The other thing, so Phoenix as a ecosystem will have something called Fire C. For those that haven't researched into that, it's going to be our NFT marketplace. The big thing that we're working on there is an easy mint function, so that a person that has no development background, but they're very artistic and they have creations that they want to showcase, they want to mint an NFT. It's going to be an easy mint function for them. They're going to insert the file on the website, and then it'll mint it to the blockchain for them. So no developers needed. Working on
Keep
that.
it simple.
Yeah, very simple. Same thing with our DEX. We really want it to be more of a easier access than something that I don't know if people are familiar, but in the beginning of Uniswap, it was really hard to tell what's going on when all that came on in the very beginning. We want it to be very easy and accessible to all users. That's another thing that we're working on with the DEX. And then FireSwag is our third brand out of many different brands that we're working on. FireSwag is going to be more for shirts and things that have to do with Phoenix.
Lifestyle component.
Exactly, yeah. So again, we are an EVM-based blockchain. Our goal is to have very cheap transaction fees with a strong network. We have over 300 and, last time I checked, 325 different nodes right now supporting the network. The network keeps growing.
The nodes are dedicated servers, so they're at least all running on 100 megabits connection, mostly 1 gigabit. The main server runs on 10 gigabits. We also run the IPFS system on the nodes, so I estimate it should be at least already over half a petabyte. And we also will have the DUX games that will play an important role. In a way, the chain got started because we didn't want to be dependent on changes of chains where you end up with high gas fees, as in Ethereum, where it cripples just so many different projects. So that was one of the main reasons that we wanted to create an environment where we control that not other people will change the environment, which makes our plans not work anymore. So was one of the main reasons. And on top of that, we have the show. We're working on the newsletter. We're working on a news website. And then I have 6 more companies, which I'm not going to disclose anything about yet.
Well, that's the fun part.
Today
that's why we're going live and recording this. Yeah.
Today I went to a Fusion office. Initially, it's not for the Phoenix Foundation itself, but on the same office I can register the Phoenix Foundation, and basically for the next 2 years, for the 12 companies, to just the running costs, which means a place to house them, to officially register them, and to pay all the accounting firm costs, are basically covered for the next 2 years. So yeah, the concept is we build, we launch it, and we'll see for each how to upscale it, how to involve other investors. And instead of asking people money for their IDs or for our ID, which we have to build, we build it and see just to upscale it. And I think that's it took a while to position ourselves this way. There have been quite some delays in that matter, but overall, it's currently at the position 1 June I'll get the office, and it's 2 more weeks to prepare as much as possible, and then I really want to step up. So that kind of covers what I've got to share today.
So that is Rob, by the way, the genius, main, I guess he's like
Dev.
Yeah. More than dev. I mean, you can't quantify what he does. But hey,
So
Spaz is back.
basically, what I'm gathering
I
from
had
this
to-
is you guys have kind of been in like the development stage throughout this entire time frame, and now it's kind of the point where you're now open up to start collaborating, partnering, getting onto more exchanges, I guess, and expanding the actual platform, right?
Yes. So we've been developing since November. We've been in development since, I believe, November 10th. Is that the official date?
I just saw it in GitHub. I was just looking at that. So I mean, you guys have been doing it more than just that, but yeah. So
yeah,
last year.
We've been tossing up the idea for a while, and it started with ducks, as the fame story goes. Just started with ducks and just a price bot for Crypto Phoenix, and it just evolved into its own chain that can hold all that and then provide services to other people too. So, yeah.
Now this duck game, this is live, right? This is working now. People can go. This is a game within Telegram, or people can play and earn NFTs, or what's the concept behind that?
Yeah, so we are live. We have been live basically since, I guess, November for the duck game. So you go into the duck hunt through our Telegram. You would register your wallet, and just to backtrack a little bit, since we are an EVM-based blockchain, your Ethereum address should stay the same even if you change to Phoenix Chain. It'll just, when you switch it over, that's when you'll see your Phoenix balance, that's when you'll see your Phoenix NFTs. So you would take that address, you would register it in the duck game, and then you shoot and you attempt to get to duck hunt. And you'll if you hit a duck, you'll get a little bit of Phoenix, and sometimes you'll get a rare exclusive NFT for doing that as well.
Okay.
So
you guys have some kind of like an incentive program since it's still like the beginning to get people to get into this game, and that's going to like end soon, like a promotion type thing, or is it kind of just still waiting to see how the game kind of performs?
Well, some of the NFTs get cycled in and cycled out. So if you don't get the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles NFTs, the little duck turtles, and the little shredder turtles and stuff. We have like seasons where we cycle them in, and then if you don't get them in that time frame, they're cycled out, and you'll never have another chance.
Okay.
Yeah, there's villains right now, right?
Like a rarity aspect to it.
Yes.
Yep.
Now the NFTs from there, is that part of? Are those on the Phoenix blockchain? Are those on like ERC20 NFTs, Matic NFTs? It's Phoenix specific.
So it is Phoenix specific, yes. And you can look them up in the Phoenix Explorer. You can put your address in there and see what you have. You can also add it to MetaMask using a custom ad for the contract, and then you can view them that way. And we are working to perfect our own NFT viewer. Right now it works through the desktop extension for MetaMask. It still has a little bit of fine-tuning to do for the actual browser within MetaMask. So that's something that we are working on currently.
What is that? Is it multichain.org? Are you guys integrating into that, or?
Yes, that is another one that we are working on. Yeah. Actually, oh man, RXB's not here, but I'm not sure where we are with that.
Okay, because that's where we're working. That's who we're working with on bridging over. So. Yes,
multichain.org is one of them. There are a couple other ones, if I can find them, that we've already integrated into.
So personally, again, just from my years, I guess just to add on to this, so my years in the space, Matt, I would like to get your opinion on this too. Typically what I see are projects that come out, whether or not it's doing like a pre-raise OTC deal, launchpad, whatever, and they're like, here's what we want to do. Here's our roadmap. Here's all the plans, blah, blah, blah. Give us your money, and then we'll get to work. Maybe. But from what I'm gathering with you guys already did the fork. You've already have the developers on board. You guys have the plans. More importantly, you also started acting on majority of those plans, short term, leading into long term. You already have the platform, which is working, of course, the NFT gaming aspect of it. And you guys just kind of been on hold with marketing efforts? Or is that kind of what I'm missing? Or is this one of these opportunities where we're like, so what's going on here? What are we missing?
We have not done any marketing.
You're completely correct. I don't want to put out the marketing, because in that regard, I want to make just 100% sure it's ready, because it also has to convert when you market it. You can do a lot of effort to market and to get a lot of people into a concept, but you also want to keep them. You want
Sure.
to not just get them to play, but you want them to become a part of the community. And for that, there's different pathways, and we're still tweaking, optimizing those. And once those are ready, it will be ready to accommodate the masses.
Okay. But I guess then the bigger question leading on to that is, to what point are you guys going to go to where you could say we're done developing and we're ready to now go forward? Because again, I'm just looking at Linktree. We're talking about the social media aspect, the blockchain, the explorers, all these different functionalities. So it's kind of, again, it's like this whole ecosystem. So do you feel like that's now set to be done, or is there still a little bit more work like ahead of you guys?
I am also looking at setting up it's one of the 6 left, and it's about setting up a payment service provider, which includes a license from the Dutch bank, which allows also to issue our own debit cards. And this is going to be a long route. And that's why I kind of don't want to shout it out that we're going to do it, because there's loads of things we probably have to solve.
This is being recorded.
Yeah, no, so I love it. I'm the one that will always ask those interesting questions just to pull out some additional info.
We're getting all the leaks right now.
You're lucky. I'm happy because basically we finalized the office today, and which means for me it will be a lot easier to focus on all the work. So I'm pleased today. So I'll give the heads up a little bit on the payment service provider. It does include getting a license. Means it also has to be a separate entity, a different company, and it would allow us to issue our own debit cards. And with that, we could connect Phoenix to that, and that's one of the goals that will be way further in the future. There's still a lot of other stuff to do. So, but it's already somewhat in the pipeline that we're started developing there.
Okay. So it sounds like you still got some more stuff to do, but in the short, again, just as of right now, the majority of these extensions and parts of the platform are kind of set and ready to like go forward, right? Like everything else is kind of just add-ons, additional add-ons.
Yeah, it's about releasing them one by one and making sure they get the attention they deserve. And also make sure they function the way they're supposed to function, so that we can still improve them. And all the companies have to be set up to become separate entities. They are in a way relying on the blockchain, but so Phoenix will be the main blockchain, but the projects will also build out to other chains, and in that way the companies will also be able to sustain in the whole crypto ecosystem. And in that way I hope it will also call it cross promotion. It will get more people into Phoenix as well.
All right, and I know this is, I don't know what you guys had planned for the show, but I kind of consider myself like the FOMO guy here, hence the name. But I'm going to just ask one more question. And this isn't financial advice whatsoever, so I'll just put that out there. But just looking at Phoenix and looking up the pricing and then where it's available, is it accurate that CoinGecko, because I know sometimes the market cap isn't always accurate, but is it really 300,000 the market cap? Like that tiny?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Putting that out there. No, because sometimes they don't have like the full, they don't have access to the real circulating, or, you know, it's not always up to date.
Well,
That's the real market cap. This
up-to-date.
is like gym territory.
Yes, it's the full market cap, and we're not out there to pump it. We want people to be involved in the project, and considering also seeing what always happens on the market, which can be really volatile, but also all the rug pulls, now the Luna horror for some people, I might say. It's we're not out there to take people their money, or to ruin their money, or to risk or play with people their money. That's why we're not getting funded for the project. There's a lot of weight on the companies, which would be just separate. So it's in that way, I hope to strengthen the whole thing, the whole picture. And regarding the chain, we will start a foundation. We'll have a group of node holders. We'll have 2 governance tokens, which means from the beginning on, we discussed that I wanted to share, to distribute the power, that it in the end comes down that not a single entity for its own gain can push through things which are not beneficial for the whole thing, but just for themselves. So it's in a way, I really try to build it up like that. Another part of it is a lot of projects, they depend on one person in the spotlights, and if that person says, I'm sick, I don't want to do this anymore, or whatever, that has
We've seen it all.
way too much influence on a project as well. And one of the things I strived for basically the last 1.5 months, and the team knows, is to get all the tasks and all the daily operations to become redundant in case something falls out, that we don't have to always do some sort of stress management, but that you have a really solid foundation to build out of, and that you can actually spend your time finishing the projects. And that's the point we're at now. The whole foundation of everything has been laid, so it will be just picking one project and trying to get those further down the road each time.
Okay. I think both Matt and I have just recently seen somebody literally just like give up in front of a community. Don't have to mention names, but they literally like, I'm out. I gotta love those entertaining moments.
Yeah, I don't know if I call them entertaining. I'm more disappointed when I see that. I've never liked people quitting at all. So
right.
True. Yep. Well, the one thing that I could say is just on this whole Luna thing, the part that I am seeing that I don't like are obviously people are losing money, but you actually see people saying that Luna was actually the one project that they actually got into, right? So they haven't really touched any other projects, and because of this, they're now out of the entire space. Mm-hmm. And that's obviously something we don't want for any type of mass adoption or anything. So that's I'm glad to see you guys are more like on the positive side.
I fully agree with you that what happened with Luna has a very negative aspect on the whole market.
And that's why we're taking our time.
It also shows you just, I mean, there's a lot of blame for that situation, but it really shows you just how, like, somebody's personal character can invite negative actors and stuff. Just like humility really is such an important thing to have, because when you don't have it, it's literally going to be you against everybody else. It's
true.
Yeah.
Very true. A lot of egos get crushed in this space, but that's kind of the fun part, at least for us watching it.
Yeah.
And you can sometimes tell when it's about to happen. So it's good and bad. That's it.
All right, now I was out for a minute there. That's why I'm on a mobile phone. My laptop decided to die on me, sort of. Now, Matthew, did you want to talk about Sexy Swap, or did you already do that?
Well, I don't know if we should talk about that because it's not launched yet, but you can actually log in. It's sexy with a C, CEXY.finance. So you can check it out. We're going to have Forex trading. I would love to list Crypto Phoenix whenever the time comes. So yeah, we'll work on that. But as for the game, you know, and what Starship is a platform, you know, for brands, for other brands to develop, and for, you know, people and communities to come together. You see that with everything we've done, whether it's our exchange, our new product that's releasing in July, or with our play to earn game. There's 100 space stations, 10,000 planets around each space station, and each space station goes to a brand. So maybe at some point, you know, maybe we could see Crypto Phoenix within Starship's play to earn game, which would be definitely a positive thing. Also, I don't know if the white paper update is on the site yet. They were having trouble loading it, something with WordPress. But you also see how we bring people together with our Starship protocol. What we're doing now, and we just started doing it, is we're actually pairing Starship with other tokens. And what happens then is you get a little bit of their volume, they get a little bit of your volume, but nobody loses. And if it also makes communities more willing to work together. If your token's paired with mine and you get listed on Coinbase, I'm going to be doing good too. So now it makes me more willing to share my contacts. It makes you more willing to share your contacts, and it makes everybody, you know, work together a little more. There was a lot of tribalism in crypto, especially early 2021. I noticed it, and I definitely want to combat that. I think in order for crypto to have mass adoption, we all need to work together. So that's my little role. I'm not a tech person. I'm not even all that smart, but I do like to bring people together. So that's it's very rewarding.
That's awesome, and that is such a good, refreshing attitude. A lot of people see it as us versus them, and I see it more of a no, it's all of us versus, you know, the Winklevoss twins, and like there's some big boys in there, and we got to band together.
Yeah, it's major. So I always tell the community, if you see a partner share a post, then, you know, retweet it, comment on it, whatever you can do, because we're in this together for sure.
100%. And that's a big purpose in that culture that we're trying to get by even having these shows like this, where we're having other communities and we can all kind of hang out together and learn from each other, stuff like that.
Exactly.
In this space, you're never done learning. I could tell you that.
100%.
There's always something that's going to come out of nowhere and like smack you in front of the face and be like, "Just learn something new."
And going back to being humble is you know, definitely we got to stay humble, because I work with a lot of big influencers or influencers who weren't big and then they became big, or marketing agencies that they never marketed crypto at all, and after they worked with us, now they have hundreds of clients and they're too busy to talk to me. So definitely want to stay humble and appreciate where you came from. So I think that's important.
Very true.
Yeah.
Now, another thing, Jason, I wanted to bring you up. Stuff, I don't know if you already talked about it, but stuff that you're doing for the future of your channel, if you'd like to share that here, your YouTube channel.
Yeah. I'm still actually waiting just to go live with my own website. I'm always kind of jumping in and helping other projects out. So now is the kind of point where I kind of got to start hustling myself to get that up and live. But again, it's really just about community growth and also further education. I feel like this space needs that, especially for those that are just trying to get into the space. And I'm talking about like the most basic stuff. So even looking at Phoenix, talking about like MetaMask, When Binance Smart Chain, all those coins kind of like went off, nobody knew how to even onboard themselves. That was like a huge part that was missing. So I definitely just want to add further transparency, credibility, education. That's what I'm all about, community growth. That's it. I will say, though, for the YouTube channel on that side, I do want to start doing more reviews on projects, right? So I invite everybody to just come into my group as well, a Telegram group. I'm working on Discord, but feel free to share your projects, the projects that you guys believe in. But I'm also the kind of person that's going to push back. I'm not just going to say, okay, this is just another meme or another altcoin. Tell me why you're putting your name behind this project. Because I know there's a financial aspect to it, but you got to give me more than that. That stuff is always clear. Tell us why you're recommending this project or why you're talking about them. That's what we want to know. It's not just a quick pump and get out. There has to be more to it.
Awesome. And now, unless anybody's opposed to it, if anybody in the main wants to ask any questions, we can do a Q&A, or better yet, if you want to come on and ask anybody that you're looking at right now any questions, that is more than welcome. Oh, somebody's asking you, Jason, to share your Telegram group.
Yeah, I just realized I could actually just post it into the main group, I guess.
Come on, what do you mean somebody? It's me.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry. My setup is decided to break at the worst possible moment, so I'm holding my phone, trying to type with one hand. Oh, man. Now, while we're waiting for... Oh, that's awesome. While we're waiting, Jason, I have a question for you,
Thanks,
and then I have one for Matthew. Now, have you always been into journalism, and then you kind of decided to incorporate that with crypto, or did you come from the crypto side and then decide to put some journalism behind it?
So, I'm far from journalism. When it comes to writing, I'll look at a piece of paper and it'll take me like an hour or so just to write one page. That's why for me, I tend to like to do things live in the moment, take away the editing, just have fun with it, be in the moment and go at it. That's it.
I gotcha. True journalism is just the conveyance of information, so I'd say that applies to you.
Okay, from that aspect, 1000%. Yeah.
Awesome.
Journalism from a writing aspect, not so much. The other part, just being upfront and blunt about everything, I just don't have a problem with it. That's just the way that I think that it should be. If you have data, facts, there's no argument around it. Obviously, we all have opinions about things, which I like to hear. I'm not always it's not always about one side. It's about, again, learning. But in this space particularly, we have smart contracts. We have these different functions. We have these different codes. And when engineers or projects or their community don't understand that kind of stuff, like I'll press hard on it. I love to do that. That kind of stuff I'm always down for.
That is fantastic. Oh, really? I'm from Flint. Awesome. Now, Matt, you had told a story a while ago that I thought was cool, and you can share it here about what inspired you to build a centralized exchange to begin with. And I think it was dealt back with something as a kid that you saw, like something at a bank that pushed you towards that direction.
Well, I've always been trading. I was trading on my dad's account when I was a boy, and I just love trading. I've traded options, Forex, stocks. I have some bonds. Not that I'm too proud of those, but yeah, in crypto, I just love it. So I've always wanted to have my own exchange. I didn't know when I would have one, but I am in a habit, or I have been in a habit of materializing my dreams and different ideas, and I help other people materialize theirs too, which definitely feels good. I think Starship is a platform for that. Obviously, my dream is the exchange, but the community had a dream for the play to earn game, and that's how that came about. Saint, who's our CTO, Timmer, he wanted to develop a serious game, which which that's what we're launching in July. I mean, it's major. I'll give you a leak. It's definitely VR compatible. So, but you know, we are a platform first, and yeah, I like the direction that we're headed and the quality of people that we have here. But I think going back to sexy finance, I've just always wanted an exchange. I don't know what it is. I love the whole commission factor. I love controlling, not like someone, I just don't like someone else controlling my liquidity. We saw it with Bitmart. Bitmart got hacked. There were 600,000 imaginary tokens on the exchange, and we had to withdraw from Bitmart to get them to buy those tokens back, which they still haven't purchased all those tokens back. I just feel like the system gets corrupted eventually, especially in crypto. And I just wanted to have a little more control over whether it does or doesn't. So
I'll just add also Starship in general from the very beginning up until now. So it's been like a little over a year, right? The 1 year anniversary had just passed. That in itself could be made into one hell of a book, movie, drama. It's all in there. It's got all the action you could ever want.
Yeah, we've
so
had
a lot of fun stuff happening from that.
Yeah, in 6 different instances, you know, because it's hard for some people. A lot of people want to be the center of the universe. It's hard to do that when you're a part of something that's bigger than just yourself. So we've had 6 different team members leave, and they usually, you know, drop a bomb when they do. They take other team members, they take community members. But each time our team has gotten consistently stronger. The amount of community members that leave when it happens, consistently smaller. You know, the first time it happened, which was 3 weeks after we first started, we lost half the team and half the community. The last time it happened, we lost 1 team member and probably 30 community members out of 15,000. So obviously we've grown, and our community is more resilient, which I love.
Yeah, that first time, by the way, it went from like what, 10 cents to $6. Adios.
Yeah,
that has been dramatized.
Yeah, they usually leave on the peaks or the lows, so that's usually where the where you get to shed some weight. So.
Yep. Always good.
It's funny that you said that, Jason, about you could write a book on it, because a lot of it has been incorporated into the lore, the story behind the.
Exactly.
So yeah, in a sense, a book is being written about it.
Yeah, and maybe we don't put people's names on it, but there are similar.
Keep it fictional.
There's similar instances that if you were in the community from day one, you're going to be able to look at the story and say, "Oh my God, this is so and so. Oh my God, this is this instance," and that's really going to be incredible, and that's going to resonate with a lot of people.
Also add to it Starship. Well, during that time, so just to reiterate, so the few years that I've been in this space, it's always just about researching, going into projects, knowing like the right questions to ask, kind of like an interview basis, right? But up until Starship, now I actually dove deep into the coding aspects of the development part, and I literally taught myself like blockchain 101, deployment, all that, smart contracts, everything. So now that added to my arsenal in a way. So when it comes down to researching projects and asking even more advanced type questions specifically towards like the developers, that's all happened because of this. So, you know, sometimes whenever there's a negative thing, you can always see the positives from that and just keep growing and growing, you know, as we go on. So I'm still glad, I guess, whatever happened, because it's better off this way. And yeah, you shedded some additional weight that you didn't necessarily need.
Yeah, I'm happy too. Especially we have our legal opinion now. We have 3 very strong quality products. and our community is twice the size. Well, actually, at 10 cents the first time, we had 3,000 holders. So we increased our holders within a couple of months by almost five times. So yeah, there's been a lot of growth. And like I said, legal opinion, that's pretty major. Whenever we can make that move on a top exchange listing, we're going to do it.
Yeah, it's all about proper timing too. That's it.
Absolutely. All right. Now, Karma, Hyperion, do either of you guys have want to throw something out there, or do you want me to put a bow on it?
I think we had some questions in the Telegram. I'm not sure if everybody answered. Yeah, a little bit back. Will there be a dwarf NFT? Not really sure. Maybe, yeah. I guess, is that on Phoenix blockchain? Yeah, maybe.
I'll bring us home. Thank you so much for joining us today. We will see you all next week for the 5th weekly broadcast. Wishing every member of the Phoenix family a fantastic week, and thank you both of our guests, and we will see you all in the chat.
Okay. Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.